Let's talk more about the Cavs side of things with Cavs beat writer Joe Vardon, writing for Cleveland.com. Let's play a little game of hashtag Hey Joe Cavs. I know you've been doing that a lot on Twitter lately, Joe, so thanks for joining us. LeBron, not happy about Durant winning, but it appeared at the podium as if he almost saw this coming. Did you see it that way?
Well, I mean, LeBron had been, I almost want to say, I don't know if resigned is quite right, but he had been saying early in the series that, look, this was just a different team. And that was in reference to, just feeling like the Warriors were too good. And then the Cavs kind of realized in Game 3 that they actually could play with them if they had just played better, but the problem was they lost. And nobody had come back from a 3-0 deficit, and surely no team was going to do it against those Warriors. So, LeBron knew that this was coming, and I think even before he played so well along with Kyrie in that Game 4 win, I think he had put himself in a place mentally where he knew how this series would turn out.
It's amazing we're having this conversation, but the chatter is out there. Many wondering now, once again, if LeBron will finish his career in Cleveland. You got to think that fuel was thrown on that fire of this conversation when he said at the podium that he needs to sit down and figure things out. What do you mean by that?
I mean, it's hard to know exactly what he means by that. Like, he was asked the same thing in a different way, before Game 4, just like if he wants to hang around for a while. The thing is, Jared, he is, for the first time since joining the Cavs in 2014, he is not a free agent this summer. He had been the previous two. So this was supposed to be the quiet summer. And, of course, instead, we're already talking about this, which is fine. I wrote it as well because it's going to be a thing. Like, LeBron is coming up on a decision next summer of basically where does he want to finish his career. The only thing he's ever said publicly about it is that he would finish it in Cleveland. Of course, plans change, and, a lot of it has to do with what's going on with the Cavs against the Warriors. If the Cavs continue to be the best team, and the team with the best shot of taking down the Warriors, and the Cavs continue to go to finals, and LeBron keeps this string of finals running, consecutive finals appearances, he's going to look at that heavily. But if they make it next year but get run out of the gym, and it's obvious that it's not close, then maybe he will consider all the other things that go into, where does he want to live, where does he want his kids to go to school, all those kinds of things. But the thing we know about LeBron is that he does not make these decisions until he has to, and the only surprise would be is if he came out way ahead of time and announced what he intended to do, which that's not going to happen.
Joe, as you have also written, you expect Dan Gilbert, the owner, to meet with David Griffin, the team's general manager, whose contract is expiring at some point later this week. Whether it's Griffin or somebody else, how important is it, do you think, who the man is that is in that position of general manager to decide the future and many important decisions that need to be made this summer?
I think it's reasonably important. David Griffin has done a great job. It's hard to argue with most of what he's done, because for as great as it is to have LeBron on your team, having to clear the space to get him right away put the Cavs almost in a bind in terms of draft picks, and you start looking at salary cap issues, and yet David was able to surround LeBron with proper talent in each of the last 3 years. And is he the only one capable of doing that? No. And there are guys on his staff who could probably do it too, and there are guys who are assistants in other cities who could do it. But if you're an owner and you're talking about continuity and you're talking about being happy with the direction of things, which is what Dan said to me, it's in the story, then you've got to re-sign this guy. He's the head of the operation. He's the one signing the contracts and making the decisions on free agents, and he does have a working relationship with LeBron. I would find it unwise to, in the final year of LeBron's deal, bring in somebody that he doesn't have a working relationship with. Griff has the right combination of experience and relationships on this team. So it would make sense. I think it would have made sense last summer to extend him then, and for some reason that didn't happen. But you would think these two parties would be able to figure this out, but they definitely still have some work to do.
It's NBA TV's version of #HeyJoeCavs. Joe Vardon from Cleveland.com. Thanks for joining us.
Hey, anytime.